Okay, Cat. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Corvid Coder. We're going to continue right along with our Nuthatch library. So, once again, for information about what we're doing, you can go to patreon.com/DannyFritz. You can read about what we're doing. If you can go to YouTube, you can see all the past streams. If you're on Twitch, you can see the live ones. If you go to github.com/CorvidCoder, you can see all the code that we've been writing on the stream. So Nuthatch is what we're going to continue with. It's for making video games, 2D games specifically right now. And everything that you see in here, all these commits, were coded on stream. So we're going to do day 27 today. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to start the stream. Okay. Let's get a Commander open. And let's go into Nuthatch. Inside of here, I want to open up Atom. Did it? Okay, there it goes. And then I want to start building. And then I want another one. I want to start running it. And I want this to go into Chrome. There's one other thing I want to change. I wonder if this is worth making transparent and always on top, as long as there is click-through. Okay. I don't actually see the transparency. Oh. Okay. I'm clearly meddling too much, but I'll come back. Yes. And then let's open Restream back up. Move it down a little bit just so I don't misclick. Oh. That'll explain that. That's really good. Okay, so if someone sends me a message, I can see it right here, and by default it clicks through to Chrome. Okay, so let's go. I want to check out Pong real quick. Yeah, cool, so that's still working. So shapes did not break. Flappy Bird? Wow, let's fix Flappy Bird. So, texture bound to texture unit 0 is not renderable. It may be non-power of 2. Wait, what? Okay. So basically I updated draw image, or sorry, sprite batch. Where's that? So this sprite batch, I updated this, but and I updated sprite, but that broke image. Let's go to Shipwreckers. Yeah, so these are sprites, the two ships. Stuff is weird. Off screen for WebGL. So if I go into Flappy Bird and I comment out the bird, draw image, does that get rid of the error? Oh, interesting. There is no texture bound to unit 0. That must be because I combined the shaders. So this one right here. Okay, so to figure that out, bring that back. We're calling image. Image comes here and sets the texture. So texture comes in here and checks all this stuff. Might as well just put a breakpoint there. Oh, actually I have little squigglies here. And it's complaining that there's no texture bound to unit 0. So it skipped over this. Interesting. I can get rid of this now. So it called set texture, but this wasn't to go. Let's look at the bird. But we're making sure the image is ready. If I move those two things into here, does that warning go away? It doesn't. Interesting. I would really like a call stack. Let's see. So it is definitely coming from bird. It is complete. So inside set texture. Texture came back as null. Oh, I haven't called text image 2D yet. Is that all? Or bind. Okay. So let's move the bind up. So now it happened twice for some reason. I'd like to see why it happened twice though. So I see the image for a bit and then disappears. I wonder if this squiggly is misguided. Should do in the line above? I mean, does appear it is misguided. So this warning is coming out not because of this. So let's continue. What's the next one? GL draw elements attempt to access out of range vertices in attribute 1. So which one's attribute 1, I wonder then? Nope. Hey, Brooks. I guess the sound notification didn't work. But it is here, so I do see it. So I need to find out which one's attribute 1. I'm willing to bet that that is... Is that this? Oh, I didn't know it was this weekend. I don't know. It depends on my calendar if I'll participate in Let 'em Dare. Let 'em Dare, however it's said. But that sounds like fun. I could use this library. I'm just going to find out which one of these is attribute 1. So that is 0. This is 1. Text chord. I mean, they're in here. 0, 0. 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. There is no texture bound to unit. Oh no, so attempt to access out of range vertices in attribute 1. So that's this, attribute 1. What's the type that's coming in? What is... I guess it doesn't really matter. It is a float 32. So skip 4, take 2, offset 2. Or take 2 floats, offset by 2. I mean, this is all right. Oh, 6. This should be 4. Pretty sure that's supposed to be 4. Or wait. No, this is 6. That's right. Because I'm binding image EBO. And image EBO is 6 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. let's copy these down there. Here for some reason doesn't like me caching it. So that's not the problem. So I'm putting vertices in, and it's a float 32 array. And draw image is being called from here, which is that, which looks like this. I am now of the opinion that I should float 32 array at the last minute. So that means that this is no longer a float 32 array, it is a number array. And then when I buffer it, it needs to be new or float 32 array dot from. Okay. So that didn't fix anything. I wish it would give me a stack trace instead of this. Let me check Shipwreckers again. So there are no errors in Shipwrecker. I'm also not drawing images, I'm only drawing sprites. So sprite animation is okay. Pong is not okay. Unfortunately, breakpoints won't help here, I don't think. It's because the errors are coming from WebGL itself, which I don't have any access into from here. Spectre might be able to pick something up. I'm going to debug it with Pong first because I want to get rid of this warning. I mean, I understand why it's happening because there is no texture bound. So GLSL default sampler 2D. I kind of don't want to have to do a default like 1x1 pixel or something like that, but I will if I have to. Oh, I can use an integer. Okay. So in the shader, I can just put equals 0. No, wow, okay. Cannot initialize this type of qualifier. So it does not like me putting anything on a sampler 2D. That is fair enough. I guess I can try Googling the warning. Unrolled loop in the fragment shader. Definitely don't have any loops. Okay, so he is suggesting a 1x1 pixel texture as a placeholder. Okay, I guess we'll do that. So when I'm setting up my shader, so uText needs to get something loaded into it. So that would be this dot set texture. I guess I'm not going to use set texture because I'm going to do some more manual stuff. But I do want, where is set texture? I do want some of this stuff. Like I need this. So I'll copy out this stuff. And we'll modify it as needed. So we need to create a texture. We don't have a cache yet. I guess we need to set the uniform to the 0 sampler. And then our active texture is texture 0. And the bind texture, okay. Don't worry about these right now. So this one. So instead of image, I think we're going to have like an array of 0, 0, 0, 0. And it's going to be a float 32 array dot from that. So we're just going to put in a 1 pixel thing in here. TypeScript doesn't like that. Oh. Let's see, what is it? Text image 2D. I know MDN has a good article on how to do a custom texture. This is not that good article. Oh, okay, so are any of these forms the ones I want? So it's not a canvas element, it's not an image element. It's probably this one. So it takes in a target, a level. So target, level, internal format. Width, height, border, form. Let's go with WebGL2. So it's a target level internal format, width, height, border. My gosh. Just gotta copy this out. Okay, so I need all these things. So target, level, internal format, width, 1. I don't know if that's right or not yet. Height, 1. Border, which is always 0. Format, is that gl.rgba. Type, what should the type be? Dot float. Or was I typing? Okay. Invalid internal format, type combination, GL RGBA float. Okay. So apparently I didn't want RGBA. What did I want? There's a table of all of the combinations I can do. Where is that table? There we go. Here's that table. So if I did RGB, it has to be a byte. I think that sounds reasonable. So that'd be a unsigned int 32 array. Can I do that? I guess so. And type, oh, not float, byte. Type byte, but array buffer, not int 8 array. Okay, I'll just do int 8 array. Really? I can't do uint? Like I can do negative integers? Seems a little bit ridiculous. GL text image 2D invalid internal format type combination. Oh man. It looks like I want unsigned byte. Uint 8 array. That'd be an unsigned byte. Yeah, 1 byte. Type byte, but array buffer view not int 8 array. Okay, okay. Maybe I just want a different format. RG8 UI. These are really interesting. Oh. Wait. No, no. I'm gonna need to go back to MDN. Show me a sample usage, please. Without an image. WebGL MDN texture. Okay, so here's a guide. Don't want texture coordinates. I just want. I don't want a photo. Okay, let's go back up here. No, this is only for images. From array. I'm going to remove MDN. Uint 8 array. Oh. Oh. It was looking me right in the face. Okay. How about now? Okay, no errors. But next thing I'm going to wonder is, do I only need one byte? No, I need all of them. Okay. So now I have my default texture. So I get rid of that warning. Okay, let's go back to Flappy Bird. Bring my fish back. So my walls are now gone. So this has to do with my polygons, not my image. So if I just take out this graphics.image call. Okay. So all the warnings are gone too then. So let's bring this back. But it won't show my polygons. So let's look at the polygons. So when I'm drawing my wall, I'm drawing two rectangles. So rectangle, it creates triangles, or it calls triangles with this elements array. So when I go to triangles, I create positions out of it. I bind the VBO. I put the positions into the VBO. I bind the EBO. I put the elements into the EBO. And then I use the length of it. And I also change it over to the shape type. uint16 array. What does my elements look like? It's just like 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 0, 3, 2, 1. That looks fine. Attempt to access out of range vertices in attribute 1. So let's see what attribute 1 is. Let's go down to triangles. Triangles. So so EBO, it's a buffer. Okay, so vertex, this one. This is 0. 0. Wait, are there no other vertex attributes? Oh, do I need to disable vertex attribute array? Oh. I do, don't I? Disable. Okay. So let's find all the places I'm doing enable vertex. So there's 5 places, not too many. So after I enable these two, I'm going to disable these two. Immediately have to draw elements. So this.gl.disable vertex attribute array. I'm going to disable this.attributes.a text chord. Okay. So let's go find the next two. So I have A position and text sorts. I need to disable them down here too. And then after triangles, I need to disable position only, because that's the only one I'm doing. Right? Yep. Okay. Did that fix it? It did fix it. Okay. So it was a bug that was introduced when I combined the two shaders together. Okay, so all the demos are working again. And they do feel actually, I wasn't really thinking this was going to happen, but they do feel better. They feel faster. Pong still has its bugs, but that's not a problem with the engine. It's just the game logic. All right. So all the warnings with WebGL are gone. Let's try sprite animation. Cool. Let's try Shipwreckers. Cool. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and commit where I'm at with that. Oh, I need to go to this line. I wonder about this 0. Should I be using texture 0 there? Okay. What other changes are made? So we're resetting the texture. Oh, we moved these up. I suppose, I don't know. I deferred when I'm doing float 32 array. I'm disabling my vertex attribute pointer. So here's the big one in the commit that fixed everything. Was these disables? I wasn't cleaning up. Okay, so it's actually a pretty tame commit. So go ahead and stage that. I'm going to run another performance check on this. Let's see how we're doing. So let's do the first 500 commands. Let's go down to somewhere down here. Okay, so we clear the buffer. That's this clear here. Then we upload an image. That's right, we have to upload the image every single time because I only have one texture bound right now. I can have up to 16, which would be my next optimization. There were some performance considerations around it, or design considerations really. We bind the buffer, we buffer the elements in there. And at this point, we draw all of them. So now we have a full frame at that point of water. Then after that, okay, we disable our two vertex attributes now. And then we come in here and we're going to draw one of the ships, it looks like. We're going to upload the other ship, or the other image. bind it, buffer it, enable some vertexes, and then draw. So now we have the green ship. Okay. So then we come down here and we do pretty much the same thing, but without uploading the texture, because we don't need to change the texture back. And we draw it. So pretty good. Not too many commands to do a single frame. If we had a cannonball in there, we'd need some additional things. And then we clear it. And we're back to black for the next frame. So that's pretty good. And it feels good too. I don't know what it looks like on the stream, but this feels like smooth, like butter. Shoot that green ship. Damage it. Shoot the red ship. Okay. So for this, because there are two different images going on here, it has to keep uploading the image to the graphics card, which is kind of a bad idea. Because we can support, so because WebGL stats, we can look at, it's like, oh, how many images can people support on average? We can go into here and we can see max samples, I think it was. No, not that. I mean, I had trouble finding it yesterday. I'm having trouble finding it today too. Maybe it's min. This one, okay. So you can have 16. 100% of people support 16. The reason being is WebGL2 required that. I have a feeling though if we went over to WebGL1 and looked at that, 8 would be what we could do. However, WebGL2, upped the game, I guess. So WebGL2, isn't nearly as supported, right? First of all, you need Chrome or Firefox. Really, that's it. Or WebGL1 is, pretty widely supported. Apparently, unless you're on a console. At that point, why are you trying to play web games anyways? Okay. I'm wondering if I should clean this up, because this is pretty hefty. So texture cache will need to become much more complicated. Maybe not that much more complicated, but I want a ring buffer. I don't even know if a ring buffer is necessary, actually. I just want a stack that can support up to, or a map that can support up to 16 things. Yeah, I mean, but a map's still not. I just want an array that's size 16 so I can look through it. And then if there are any empty slots or I mean, there's a reason why I wanted it to be like a ring buffer type thing, but a ring buffer is not right. Pretty much like if I have 16 textures in my game, which I shouldn't, but if I did have 16 textures, and I want to have a 17th one, I need to evict one of the 16 that I'm using. And it seems to me like the one that I should evict would be the least recently used, or the LRU. So I'd want some sort of buffer that can support up to 16 things in it and had an LRU property to it, or least recently used. Or I guess MRU, most recently used. So regardless, I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm not sure if it's LRU or MRU, but so it starts at, there's nothing in it. There's just 16 slots. And you push one thing into it, there's one thing. You push two things in, there's two things in it. It hasn't had to evict anything yet. But when you get to 16 images, you want that 17th one, you need to evict one of them, because I can only guarantee that you can support 16 things. I can't guarantee more. I might make it dynamic based on what your WebGL context reports. I could grab that, but for now I'm just going to use 16. I think changing it for dynamic would be easy, so I'll just stick with 16 first, and then fit it over to dynamic. But yeah, so once I want that 17th one, I need to evict one of them. And that's where kind of data structures come in. And this is kind of like an OS data structure, really. So I would need to find the texture that was least recently used and evict it. So if let's say I had a game and there's a menu, and I had like a menu title screen, right? So it showed like the title screen, it was like main menu, and then I clicked play, and inside of there I loaded up 14 more textures. So I'm up to 15. And then I click escape, which opens up a menu, and that brings up, 2 more textures. So when I evict a texture, I probably want to evict that menu texture, because chances are I'm going to go back to the game, not the main menu. So I want to evict that, the least recently used one. The one that was used the furthest back. So I'll need some sort of tab on, the last time it was used. So kind of like a touch. And then I'll also need something that finds the slot in the array for me. So if it's empty, that's a no-brainer, just take the empty one. Or it will have to find the least recently used one and then give me that slot. Then I'll upload the texture into it. And then so that means that I give my engine an image. Everything else needs to be completely transparent to the user. Which texture I'm using on the graphics card, the user should not have to care about. So I just flip my uniform for the texture I'm using. I just change the sampler to a different texture slot. And if I evict, then I do a text 2D. Or if it's just brand new. But all of that's completely transparent to the user. And that should be a huge performance optimization if you're using images. For Pong, and Flappy Bird, and the Shipwreckers one, which only has, Shipwreckers has 2 images actually, so that would help. Because right now I'm just swapping every time I switch the image. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to write that in here. This image is ridiculously large though. Or sorry, this file is ridiculously large. This sprite batch especially is sad. It's like an optional parameter. Elements equals, can I make it optional? So it's a nullable one now, or undefined. So if elements want to use these. So I need to use the generic EBO then, one that I'm constantly changing. I need to buffer into it. Elements. And then I need to use elements.length here. So let's copy this into both of these. And this one's going to be hard-coded to 6. Static draw. What do you mean it's possibly undefined? I literally said if it's not undefined. TypeScript. This is supposed to be something you can handle. Oh, interesting. So it's able to handle it if I don't use a template literal. Okay. Now what do you play right here? I think I want it to be a u int 16 array.from. Okay, so now with sprite batch, let's see, what does draw image do? So I'm just going to try this out. So this dot draw image vertices elements. I'm going to comment out all of this. So I believe this is the duplicated part. And it works. Go check Flappy Bird real quick. Yep. All right, so I can delete all of this now. So that makes me a lot happier. Let's go ahead and stage that. Okay. Is there anything else that is obvious or cleaning up? No, I don't think so. Okay. What about in here? Switch over to this style. without a very, very major refactoring, I don't think this will get much better right now. So let's go ahead and commit that. Okay. So the question is, do I want to do the buffer now or do I want to wait till another time? I think I'm just going to write it out. Just for tomorrow me. So that would happen in here, set texture. So we're going to put a big to do here. We need a buffer that is 16 long and keeps track of images uploaded to the GPU. When it is time to evict another image from the buffer, find the least recently used image and evict that. When it comes time to drawing, make sure it is completely transparent to the library consumer we are doing this. And swapping, and switching, not swapping, textures. Okay. So I'm going to leave this for as an exercise for tomorrow, but I think this is a well worth it one. Maybe in the last couple of minutes, I just want to move the water back and forward a little bit. So let's go get the map. Let's just do it naively first. So we're going to say const offset x equals math.sign of performance.now times 5. And then we're going to add this. We're going to see possibly blank I actually have very little understanding of what I'm seeing. This black line here let me get rid of this. Its performance on now is definitely way too fast. So here's one. So it should move 5 pixels every 1 second. That's definitely way more than 5 pixels. This black looks like 5 pixels. That's why I'm just so utterly confused. What if I just add 1? What if I just add 10? See, this is what I expected to see. A movement of 10. I'm just going to console log offset x. What do those values look like? Goes between -5 and 5 every second. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is it every 3 seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's every 6 seconds. We'll assume 5, assume I'm counting fast. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds. That's a ponderance to me. If I just get rid of this math sign, what do these values look like? Chrome debug tools come back. I'll shoot these ships while I wait. You're not coming back? I see how it is, Chrome. I see how it is. Oh. Okay. Performance done now goes up by every second already. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, I told it to go by every second. Oh. The math that, oh. 6, it's not 6 seconds, it's every 2 radians. Math.pi times 2, right? That was my period. I see, I see. Okay, so we also want to divide this by math.pi times 2. And because we don't like division, or I don't like division, we're actually going to do this. Okay. Now let's put offset x in there. Let's see that crazy behavior again. Oh. Still fairly crazy to me. I wonder... I'm going to leave these alone. Maybe it's actually this I want to offset. Let's make offset a little bit faster. So right now it's every 1 second. So let's do it every half a second. That wasn't every half a second. This is every half a second. And let's make it not 5 pixels, but 50 pixels. It's acting rather strange. Way slower than once a second. So for the Chrome Dev Tools to catch up. So that's definitely every once a second. That's like gonna cause nausea in me now. Let's slow it down. I think I like that. So the reason why this is working is if we look at graphics real quick, we look at draw image. Okay, actually. Did I really get rid of those? So I'm going to bring them back. It's like wrap. S and wrap T. I think it's like this. So, oh, what did I do? I guess it's okay. Oh no, I need a min filter. So, let's see. WebGL texture wrap S. I want mirrored repeat? No, I just want repeat. So, oops. What this is saying is, oh boy. If I ask for coordinates that are outside of my texture, just go ahead and wrap it. So, or repeat it in this case. So, when I shift the coordinates I'm asking for, it's going to go outside of the bounds of the actual texture. And what I told it to do is like just wrap around, go back to the beginning. So I have this texture. I can probably find it. Clamp, repeat, wrap, OpenGL. Okay, so in here, when we say clamp and we go off the edge of it, it just takes oh, this isn't how I expected it. Wrap S GL clamp. So when they clamp it, I feel like this is supposed to be white and this is supposed to be red, but it repeats the last color out into infinity. I don't know how it decides this one. When you say, so here they're clamping on this, but then they're wrapping here. I guess they have 1 pixel on the edge. So when it says repeat, when you get to the edge of it, it goes back down as if it's continuing. So this is going to be repeated here, which is going to be repeated here. And then I feel like we're missing one. We're missing the mirror. But all mirror does is it'll read through the texture like this, and then read through the texture like this, and then read through the texture like this. You can probably find one. Here we go. So here's a repeat. So it just takes this texture and it just keeps reading through it as if it was just going like that, back and there, and then there, and then there. Mirrored repeat goes through the image and then goes back through the image, and then goes to the image, and then goes back through the image to get these mirrors. Clamp takes the edge pixel and it just repeats it. Border, which is always 0, I guess. It just, if you go outside of it, it just ignores it. So I'm kind of hacking GL repeat in this case to get this waving motion. The textures are always being drawn in the same spots. Like if I put a gap between them, it might make it a little more obvious. If I just say like +1, I guess. It wasn't as gappy as I thought. What am I missing here? I feel like there's supposed to be a gap. Lots of gaps. Oh, because I'm just moving them all over one. I need to change the width of them. How about that? What did I do? Did I crash the server for some reason? No. Okay, what if I open up a new... Oh, I know what's going on. Because I had the dev tools open. If I go to sources, continue. I don't know why you're pausing on these. I'm not telling you to pause on these things. There we go. Okay, so there's our gaps. So now let's mess around with these parameters. So I guess I don't need this actually. I guess we can see both. So in graphics, instead of doing repeat, let's do clamp. Seeing no difference. Oh, actually doesn't like that. What do you want it to be done? Oh, clamped edge. There, okay, so now when my texture is off, it just takes the last texture it saw. Oh, this is very interesting to me. This is not how I expected it. I'm not drawing how I expected it to be drawing right now, so this already is an error that I'll want to fix. I can mirror. What is it? Mirrored repeat. It's not, yeah, so this is not acting how it's supposed to be. But now when I ask for a texture outside of it, you see it does what it's doing. It mirrors it. Then border is the other one. I guess WebGL doesn't support it. That's fine. So I'm going to put clamp back in there. Just because I want to fix this bug. Or I'm going to put mirrored. Mirrored really, well, let's clamp them both. Clamp. And let's go fix this bug. This isn't how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this being stamped all over the place, not the texture just being redrawn all over the place. And that's why it was actually working before how I wanted it, but I wasn't expecting it to. So this is all coming from Sprite batch. Oh. I have these, do I have these back? Wait. I don't want to add these. These are supposed to be fixed. There we go. Okay, so there was a bug. Now I'm getting... So with the clamp, whenever it goes off the screen, it becomes a straight edge that's clamped to whatever it is. Okay, so that was cool. I fixed the bug. Let's put it back to mirrored repeat for fun. All right, and just normal repeat. So this is the one where I feel like it's going to work like how I want it to. Okay. Question. Should this be user settable? Okay. This might be something I want the user to be able to specify. So I'm just going to leave it as a question. Let's go back to map. Let's fix this. Beautiful. So I have like some kind of waving kind of water. I could actually offset them at different synchronizations. To make it a little bit more watery looking. Why did that break it so badly? Oh, because I need to offset X again. There we go. It's kind of water-like. Looks a little bit random, but that's good. Cool. I'm going to call the stream. I think that was pretty good. It's been over an hour. So if anyone's watching wants to ask a question, I'll monitor the chat as I'm kind of cleaning up. Go through this to do real quick. Create texture was made. almost wonder if deleting these would be better than checking them off. Yeah, I'm going to delete them. I really need to do audio. I did some of these. I think I did add, rotate. Let me see. Rotate, magnitude, normalize, add. Multiply. I need a VBR fixed. All right. Cool. So with that, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for watching. As always, it was a lot of fun. This game engine, I'm only on day 27, and so that means I've been working on it for probably around 32 or 35 hours. Streams go a little bit longer than an hour. And it's quite capable, in my opinion, right now, or at least capable to the point of like where I want it to be. So I'm quite pleased with where it's going. So if you like my stream, go ahead and click like or subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and check out the Patreon page for more information. Bye-bye.